Nobody knows. The day before he died, he went to Walmart by himself and bought a load of white candles, left them in the house by the fireplace. Those were the candles that we ended up using for his candlelight visual 3 days later. I swear to God, I can't make it up.
And I can't live with that. I cannot live with the fact that this man worked so hard to be where he was. He was changing the he was doing. He wasn't even on no, you could hear it even in his music.
If I'm gonna die, I wanna make sure that my life made at least 5 million kids happy.
Daddy's not gone. You see the light on.
And my mom was out there trying to hustle, get her money up, you feel me? And she was doing everything she could. And I ain't even finna dub my mom. Like, I love my mom to death. That's the apple of my eye. I'll take a bullet for my mom any day. You take a bullet for my mom right now, no question. No questions asked.
Do you have any relationship with your father? I mean,
what's that? What's a father?
You turned a robbery into a murder. And on that day, when you stood there and fired that weapon, you didn't just end one life. You effectively ended 5 lives. You will spend the rest of your life in prison. From here, you will go and be placed in a cell that has a stainless steel slab that's attached to the wall. That's your bed. And next to it is a stainless steel sink and a stainless steel toilet. That's the furniture that you have in that cell. You'll spend every hour and every day and every week and every year of your life in that cell. And one day, they'll come and open up that cell in the morning and you'll have passed on. And only on that day will you have served your sentence.
You didn't just end 1 life, you ended 5. That's what the judge said when sentencing the people responsible for the death of XXXTentacion. But here's where things get confusing, because one of those men is already free. And when the internet found out, everything exploded. The outrage, the headlines, the comments. It all made it seem like a killer just walked out of prison overnight. Except, that's not what actually happened. And once you understand the full story, it changes everything. It all started in March 2026. Out of nowhere, timelines were flooded with the same claim. One of X's killers had just been released. Major hip-hop pages were posting it, blogs were running it, millions of people saw it within hours. And just like that, the internet turned into chaos. People were furious. Some were calling it injustice. Others were demanding answers. But there was one problem. The story wasn't new. In fact, it was already over 2 years old. Robert Allen, the man everyone was talking about, had actually been released back in October 2023. For more than 2 years, he had been living a normal life. Working, moving quietly, staying completely off the radar. And somehow, nobody noticed. Until suddenly, everyone did. But if you really want to understand why he's free in the first place, you have to go back to the day everything changed. June 18th, 2018. A regular Monday afternoon in South Florida. Hot, quiet, nothing unusual. That same day, X had withdrawn $50,000 in cash, $500, $100 bills. He put it all inside a Louis Vuitton bag. That bag would end up becoming the reason everything spiraled. He pulled up to a motorsports shop in his black BMW i8. A car that doesn't blend in. A car you remember if you see it once. And unfortunately, someone did remember it. A man named Dedrick Williams had seen that same car before. And that day, he wasn't alone. He was riding with 3 others. They weren't specifically looking for X. They were just looking for a target. But when they saw that car, everything changed. They followed him into the parking lot, watched him walk inside, even walked past him like regular customers. At that moment, nothing had happened yet. No crime, no violence, just a decision forming. And that decision would change multiple lives forever. Because once they stepped back outside, the plan was already in motion. They waited. Minutes passed, then X came back out, got into his car, started to leave, and that's when it happened. A vehicle pulled in front of him, blocking the exit completely. No way out. 2 masked men jumped out with weapons. Everything escalated instantly. Inside the car, confusion turned into fear. X kept asking the same question. What is this for? But there was never going to be an answer. This wasn't about conversation, it was about control. And within seconds, it went too far. Shots were fired, and just like that, everything was over. What makes it even worse is what happened after, because instead of laying low, they celebrated. They split the money, filmed themselves with it, posted it. Like nothing had just happened. And that was their biggest mistake, because the evidence started building immediately. Security cameras, phone data, DNA, witnesses. Within days, arrests were being made. And now, all eyes were on one question. Who was going to talk first? The answer came fast. Robert Allen. He didn't wait. He didn't play tough. He sat down with investigators and told them everything. Names, details, timeline. How it started, how it ended, everything. Now here's where things get complicated, because that decision saved him, but it also labeled him forever. To some people, he did what he had to do to survive. To others, he crossed a line you never come back from. Either way, that one move changed the entire outcome of the case. By 2023, the trial reached its peak. And this is where things got even more intense. The evidence was overwhelming, the testimony lined up, and the verdict came back guilty. The main attackers received life sentences, no parole, no second chances. But even in that moment, something happened that shocked everyone. One of them smiled. Even worse, he blew a kiss toward X's mother, Cleopatra Bernard, right there in the courtroom. That moment spread everywhere because it showed something chilling, a complete lack of remorse. And Cleopatra didn't stay silent about it either. Her response was sharp, direct, and unforgettable. You could feel the pain behind it. A mother who waited years for justice, finally seeing it happen. But even then, the story wasn't over. Because shortly after that, Robert Allen stood in front of the same judge. And this time, the tone was completely different. The judge acknowledged his cooperation, said he believed the remorse was real, and then came the sentence. 7 years. With time already served, which meant he was getting out soon. And in October 2023, he did. No cameras, no headlines, no attention. He just walked out and disappeared into a quiet life. Since then, he's stayed completely off the grid. No interviews, no social media, no public appearances. He works, travels, checks in with probation. That's it. His location is sealed. His movements are monitored, and for the most part, he's invisible. But now that people know, the debate is louder than ever. Was it fair? Did he deserve that deal? Or was it necessary to make sure the others never walked free? There's no clear answer, because it all comes down to how you define justice. For some people, justice means punishment. Everyone involved pays, no exceptions. For others, it's about getting the truth, no matter the cost. And while the internet keeps going back and forth, arguing in comments, debating in videos, choosing sides, there's one part of this story that almost gets lost in all the noise. A child, the son of XXXTentacion, growing up in a world where his father is more of a memory than a presence, more of a story than a person. He never got to meet him, never got to hear his voice in real life, never got the moments most people take for granted, and now he's left trying to understand something that doesn't make sense. Something no child should ever have to process. At just 7 years old, his explanation is as simple as it is heartbreaking. His dad went to the hospital and didn't come back. That's it. No details. No deeper understanding of what really happened. No awareness of the violence, the decisions, or the consequences behind it all. Just a quiet, incomplete version of the truth. No courtroom, no headlines, no debates about fairness or legal strategy, just a reality he has to live with every single day. And maybe that's what makes this story hit different. Because no matter which side people take, no matter how they feel about Robert Allen or the justice system, none of those opinions change the outcome that matters most. A life was taken, and another life is growing up, without ever getting the chance to know him. One decision, one moment, and multiple lives changed forever. So now the question isn't just about who got what sentence. It goes deeper than courtrooms, deeper than headlines, deeper than what went viral for a few days and then faded. It's about what justice actually means. Is it punishment? Making sure everyone involved pays the price, no matter their role? Is it truth? Getting the full story out, even if it means someone walks away with less time? Or is it something in between? A system built on compromise, where outcomes don't always feel right, but still serve a purpose. Because in this case, you can stand on either side or make a strong argument. Some people look at it and see imbalance. They see someone who was part of it, now free, living life, moving on. Others see strategy. They see a deal that helped lock away the ones who would have otherwise had a chance to walk. And somehow, both perspectives feel valid. That's what makes this story stick. Not just what happened, but how it makes you question everything you thought you understood about right and wrong. Because even after all the verdicts, all the sentencing, all the time that's passed, it still doesn't feel finished. If you've made it this far, you already know. This story isn't as simple as the headlines made it seem, but I want to hear from you. Was the system right, or did it fail? Drop your thoughts below. And if you want more breakdowns like this, stories that go beyond the surface, make sure you subscribe. Because the next story, it might look clear at first, until you realize it's anything but, until you see what's really underneath.